What is going on, everybody? This is Scott Takai. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a little breakdown of a music video that I shot recently for Vinnie Banh of his song True Desire. But before we get into the video, click the card up there so you can view the full video on his channel, and then when you're done, come back to this one and we'll start going over some camera stuff. So before I get into the video, I just want to say a quick thank you to Vinnie for letting me film this video for him. It was an amazing opportunity and it was super fun to make. Vinnie's story is really interesting to me. He came to LA from Kansas to pursue being a professional skateboarder, and he came here with really nothing but the clothes on his back. He was lucky enough to find somebody who was generous enough to let him stay in his backyard inside of a shed. And throughout those years, he hustled hard enough to where he was able to move out of that shed and buy himself a trailer, which is one of the reasons why we decided to shoot inside of it. So I'm not going to be sitting here talking about him all day, but if you want to find out more about him, his channel is right up there. And again, thank you so much, Vinnie. Like, I had a lot of fun making this. Okay, so the first setup that we're going to be going over is the setup of him rapping in front of his microphone. As far as lighting for this setup, there's a window directly in front of his face where I set up a light on the outside of it. And since we were shooting this in the morning, there was some sun coming through that window, which I didn't want because I wanted to darken the room as much as possible so I can get a nice contrasty look. So what I did to block out the sun is I got a big sheet of duvetine and put it on top of a C-stand. Duvetine is a black cloth that's used to block out unwanted light. So what I did is I put the duvetine on a C-stand and raised it up to where it was blocking out all the sun that was hitting the window. And to cover up the rest of the window, I used some gaff tape and I gaffed the duvetine to the trailer that we were shooting inside of to create this nice little box that blocks out all the sunlight. So once the duvetine was set up and was blocking out all the light that I didn't want, I put a RE650 tungsten light underneath it and shined it into the trailer where he was performing. And I didn't put any sort of diffusion onto it because I wanted the light to be as harsh as possible so that I can make it as contrasty as possible. And when you don't put any diffusion filters on the light to soften it up, the light that's coming out of the light source is going to be a lot more strong and a lot more harsh, which will result in giving you harder shadows.
You better put some sound effects.
Like what?
Of you like this, it? Like boing, 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 or ting 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 ting, you know, or the little drip drips, you know. Yeah. Double tap.
When we don't have a makeup artist, use paper towels. And action. Put it back as if you ended the song.
Getting told I was never enough. Hard on cold, not one nigga I'll trust. Mind on goals, trying to build from the ground up. Taking it slow because I never had too much. Painting a pretty picture proving.
So the next shot that I'm going to be going over is the performance shots that we did over at Lake Balboa. I actually found this location at a previous wedding that I shot, and since it wasn't that far from his house, I decided to take him there. I shot this setup with the Sony a6300 on my DS1 Beholder gimbal, and as far as the lighting setup here, we're using the sun to backlight Vinnie, which gives this little glowing effect here on his hair and here on his shoulders. And to light his face, I'm using a newer 5-in-1 reflector to reflect the light from the sun back onto his face. And the reason why I'm using a reflector in this shooting scenario is because I'm shooting directly into the sun and I didn't want to blow out the sky. I wanted to expose for it. When you expose for the sky, it results in other things that are in front of the camera to show up as underexposed, just like a silhouette. So using a reflector and reflecting sunlight onto your subject's face will create strong enough light to properly expose your subject in the camera. And then I also used the orange side of the reflector. No particular reason, I just wanted to warm up his skin and I never really used it before, so I thought, why not? And with these gimbal shots, since I was moving back and forth with him a lot, I decided to shoot it at a higher shutter speed so that the movements can be a lot more sharp. And I didn't want to shoot it at a normal shutter speed, which was 1/50, because I was shooting at 24 frames per second because I was going to be moving around a lot with the gimbal and I knew he was going to be moving around a lot while he was performing. So there's going to be a lot of motion blur in there if I shot at 1/50. So to eliminate that, I think I shot it at 1/100, just so any sudden movements that I do with the gimbal don't cause them to look really blurry, and just so when he's moving around it looks a lot more sharp, because to me it looks more interesting in a music video. And as far as the rest of the B-roll in this video goes, I didn't do anything special to it. I just shot it in slow-mo settings, which was either 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second. So that's the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and please check out the music video up there on his channel. And thank you again, Vinny, for letting me film this for you. It was tons of fun. And I try to upload here weekly, but due to life stuff, it doesn't always happen, but I'm uploading as often as I can. And if you enjoyed the video, check out my other ones because I make plenty more just like this one. And as always, have a great day. And as always, have a great day, and I will see you guys later.